Is this thing on? That seems like a boomer statement. I'm not a boomer. I'm a millennial. This video series is the beginning of production with very low quality of budgeting for production value. Personally, I don't care about how I look, how the video looks. I care more about the content that I will be producing in the next 12 months. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Ben Tomlinson. I'm also currently serving in the Canadian Armed Forces, which makes the type of content I am aiming to produce potentially impactful towards the trajectory of my career, both negatively and positively, potentially. I'm doing it because I think that there's importance in changing discussions online. And I don't care how many views I receive, I don't care how many people I reach. I don't care whether the people I reach like what I produce. I think it's just more important I'm putting my ideas into the world. Not out of some ego-driven, I must be the forebearer of these thoughts. It's a conversation that I think anyone should be willing to have with anybody else. So, I'm getting back into content creation for a 12-month period. For this purpose, I want to discuss things like politics, things like psychology, things like religion, but to do so in a purposeful manner that is not directly criticizing the government of Canada, criticizing any particular government in the world, just talking about broad philosophical concepts to help the viewers understand power, understand human behavior, and understand potentially our purpose within the universe. These are just theories. They are not gospel, religious values. They are not necessarily the whole truth of the world. I don't think anyone possesses the whole truth. The whole truth is a concept that we all chase, and hopefully we get close to it as possible, but it's a concept that you can't fully have until you have knowledge of everything, and it's impossible to have knowledge of everything unless you're a god. And no one rational out here is claiming to be a god. So I am hoping to find truth through my videos, through my book reviews, through my discussions, but whether or not I will actually do so to produce 100% truth is, I think that's a fiction. But so there is going to be an issue in terms of how I can speak. I am a public servant first and foremost. I am being paid by the taxpayers of Canada. And with that, I will not criticize policies for the Canadian Armed Forces. I will not criticize policies necessarily for the government of Canada. I might talk about philosophical concepts that might lead people to think maybe this policy might not be the best solution, but every single policy is based in reason most of the time. And there are rational ways you can get to various policy outcomes. So to say that this series is aimed at influencing electoral outcomes within Canada is false. I do not wish to weigh in towards any political party in Canada or really anywhere in the world. These discussions I'm going to be having are aimed at just the philosophical concepts that underline political action. but I'm not saying go for a particular political action. All political actions have their reasons. All political actions have their motivations. All political actions have their let's dive outside of logic and emotion and talk about survival. Political entities need to survive in order to continue to produce policy. And policy essentially is just who gets what, when, and where. So as long as that question is being asked, then there will always be political entities and there will always be political action. And therefore, as a public servant, I must not say political policies have effective results without proper citation, without proper research. Those kind of things do need a quantitative and qualitative backing, evidential support. And I'm not looking to do so, particularly because it is my duty as a public servant to serve Canada. It's not my duty as a public servant to judge Canada, to influence decisions. But yet I'm in a space where the frequently used term to define those is influencers. And I'm not necessarily looking to become an influencer. I'm looking to become just a source of debate, a source of questioning all ideologies, all... I'm not going to get too much into religion. Personally, I am going on a faith journey, but I'm not going to say other religions are negative in any sense of the imagination. So if you're looking for content like that, don't find it here. If you're looking for content that says a specific policy, a specific party has fundamentally flawed, whether morally or epistemically or metaphysically, if they are wrong, if they do not exist in a fashion that you may not enjoy, then don't consume my content. But yeah, I'm not going to become audience captured. This is a one-year project to discuss relevant power-based concepts. And those power-based concepts will dive into the psychological, will dive into the sociological, will dive into the political. It'll probably also dive in slightly into religious concepts, but again, that's more of a personal thing for myself. And I'm going to enjoy just being discussive of ideas as opposed to individuals. I'm looking for that type of discourse. Ideas, not individuals. And that might limit the potential people who actually listen, actually continue to respond. But that's okay with me. I'm potentially just doing an audience of one. Could just be for myself, who knows? But I am linking my Substack, and I will also have accompanying Substack posts with some various videos. I'm going to have more sort of enjoyment overall in the production of Substack. I'm going to put a little more effort into the Substack posts, but I'm still going to produce some videos, and hopefully those videos make you think. That is my overall purpose. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. And see you next time.